So through pretty much all of November, my corks were coming out much better than when I started this whole thing. Um, there was less hesitation. I didn't need the peer pressure as much, and yeah, I was doing very good for myself. But the something I noticed throughout this month was that my focus on the cork was way too broad. I didn't really put my focus on any particular thing. Um, an example of this is the very first link after this one, which is right below this one. Um, if you see that cork, you compare it to the cork that I used earlier in the PowerPoint as an example, as a visual aid to show you all what a cork is supposed to look like. You'll notice that I went too far to the left. It's not supposed to look that way. Those of you who saw the link showing the visual aid of the cork or the example of the cork know that already. So it looked that way because again my focus was too broad, and as soon as I jump up I just let my body do its thing. So I decided that I needed to condense my focus into certain cues of the cork to at least make it better. So this way I can take my time, well, maybe not take my time, because doing a corkscrew it's not exactly something you can take your time with, but I want to at least do it slow enough. I'm still going to do it fast, but slow enough to the point where I can do these cues, focus on each of these cues one at a time. The cues that I, the cues of the cork that I want to focus on, there are four of them. The swinging of the leg to get me up in the air, the jumping, the jumping force of the other leg to again also get me in the air. Okay, let me start over. The first cue is the swinging force of one leg for the direction, and the second cue is the jumping force of the second leg to get me up in the air. The third is the height awareness, so that I can see if I'm like at an optimal height to perform the cork. And the last cue is the torque, the torquing force, the to put the spin on the cork so I can do the whole 540 spin to land back to my feet. So I wanted to focus on all those things as fast as I can, one at a time, in order to initiate the cork properly. So if I'm remembering this correctly, so I tried this, and again there was a little hesitation, but nothing compared to before this all started. I went for it. I swung my foot well, not as hard as I could, but hard enough to get my direction straight, and then I kicked straight up with the other foot. And as I was going up, I was looking at the floor so that I could see just how high I was above it, so that I can see that if I was at the optimal height to be able to before if I was at the optimal height to spin so I don't like hurt myself. And once I sensed that I was high enough, I would torque my body, like torque this way as hard as I could. Well, not as hard as I could, but I'm repeating myself. But I torqued my body hard enough to get that torquing motion before I before I landed, because the thing about, I think out of all of these the most important cue is the height awareness, because um if you're not high enough you might end up under rotating, but if you're too high then you might end up over rotating. And also, actually, both the height awareness and the height awareness and torquing force, those to me are the most important things of the cork, because The height, I already explained those. The torquing is because even if you're too low, you can torque extra hard to make up for the height. But if you go too high, you can hold back on your torque to so that you don't over rotate and land on, I guess, any body part you're not supposed to. Pretty much any body part other than your feet. So I tried this. I went through this step by step as I just explained, and there are actually two links after this one. The well, not after this one. The two links that come after the link that that showed me doing the cork where I was going too far to the left. You can check those links out. Um, the first one of the two links, they I think it was with people around. There were people. The gym was kind of filled this night, so I didn't really have a choice. So I wanted to try it, and well, you can. I think you all. Some of you are looking at the video right now. You see all how that went. It went pretty good, and yeah, that went pretty well. And the one after that, I had the gym. I actually had the gym to myself. Well, there were still people there, but they're in a whole nother location of the gym. And yeah, this one was the most successful in my opinion. In terms of like the goal of this project, like little hesitation, no peer pressure. This was a very efficient cork for me. And I think, yeah, that's it. I pretty much reached my goal for this project. Like, I can do a cork now.